Hello to all my beautiful viewers out there. Today, on this very sunny, actually, Monday, it's kind of surprising because, classic Australia. We went from Sunday, pouring down cold, which you saw in the previous video. It looks incredibly dark in my room just because of it. But now, on this bright Monday, we will be talking about the upcoming release of the Adidas Yeezy 700 Carbon Blue colorway. Yes guys, so to make Monday a little bit easier for us all, today I will be discussing basically all the Yeezy releases for this month. I have all the confirmed releases up until the early 20s of December. I don't know if we're getting a Yeezy release between the December 20th and New Year's. I honestly don't know. There's not been any confirmed ones. There's been the alleged rumor that we're getting the 700 V3s, but I haven't seen any official listings for it on any stores at all. And because it's the 16th, and if it's releasing on the alleged 23rd, we would see something by now, because it's only it's a week away, so we would see something saying that it's coming out sometime soon, right? Like it would be a bit weird for Yeezy to say, oh, this is releasing, but we're not going to have it up on any stores until like a couple days before it's released. A week is a good time to indicate if a Yeezy shoe is actually releasing or not, and it doesn't look like we're getting the 700 V3s. But if that changes, of course, I will cover it on the channel. But enough talking about the V3 version of the 700s. Today, we're going to be talking about the upcoming release of the Carbon Blue colorway for the 700. A lot of similarities with the Hospital Blue colorway for the V2s, but some, I would say, welcome changes to make it very distinct and different from the Hospital Blue colorway. So, without further ado, we'll do the classic thing on this channel, which is to go over to the Hypebeast article that I have ready for us, and we'll talk about and cover all the release details in that Hypebeast article. So without further ado, let's jump into the Hypebeast article and see what they have to say about the upcoming release of the Adidas Yeezy Boost 700 Carbon Blue colorway. And here we are, guys. As I said instantly, as you can see from this image, the use of the blue on this 700 very much resembles the use of the all blue colorway that they went with the V2s. Now, let's dive into the release details, see what's going on, see what's where it's releasing, everything to do with that, and see what else Hypebeast has to say about this upcoming release. So, Adidas Yeezy Boost 700 Carbon Blue receives official look and release date, debuting globally on December 18th. There we go, December 18th. So a little bit after the release of the Yeezy 500 High Slate colorway. I did a video on that as well, so if you haven't seen that yet, please subscribe to the channel and definitely go check that out. I'm a big fan of that. I actually really like the 500 highs. I think it complements the 500 silhouette. I wouldn't mind picking up a pair of 500 highs, and I'm glad that they went with a very basic colorway for the, I assume, first ever attempt at doing the 500s in a high format. I mean, we may get other attempts in other colorways in the future, but I'm glad that they chose a very basic colorway to start off with for a 500 high. But that's enough about the 500 highs. I'm quite a big fan of them, as you can see. I wouldn't mind picking up a pair, honestly. So, let's dive into the 700. We'll dive into the images after we read the article, so we'll see what we got here. So, Kanye West's Adidas Yeezy line is aiming to finish 2019 with a bang. And one of the releases that's aiding in that effort is the Yeezy Boost 700 Carbon Blue. Speculated and leaked for months before being officially revealed. I think I do remember it being like mock-ups of it being done months ago. I think I do remember that, but it kind of died off because we were like, oh, is it ever going to get released? I don't think it's going to get released. And then now in December, it's finally getting released. So I guess everyone's hype kind of died off because it just took so long, but I still think it's very nice. Anyway, let's keep going in. So, the Carbon Blue presents a look that is that's decidedly in the line with West and Adidas's natural color palettes. However, the makeup is much more than meets the eye at first glance. Careful inspection reveals that the Carbon Blue is in fact a tasteful combination of accents and hues from a trio of previous Yeezy 700 releases. I was instantly thinking that with the use of the orange accents here on the midsole, I was like, that is the OG colorway. And the use of greys here as well looks like the OG colorway, but they've just splashed a little bit of blue on it. I like this small little variation of essentially what is the OG colorway with a bit of blue on it, and it looks nice. It's a nice use of blue, but I'm probably like covering what they're about to say in the rest of the paragraph there. All contrasted with new blue details. God damn it. I should have just kept reading the article and shut up. The classic Wave Runner lends its grey mesh midfoot panel and supple leather overlays, while shades of blue and grey are contracted from the teal blue. The beefy midsole borrows its grey base tone and pops from of orange from the inertia, encircling a full-length boost footbed. The look is finalized by a classic gum outsole. Yeah, as they said, you can never go wrong with a gum outsole. I think almost any shoe, any sneaker can benefit from a classic gum outsole. I would find it very hard to find a sneaker that wouldn't benefit from a gum outsole. It's just, it's ideal. It's perfect. What else could you ask for, honestly? The Adidas Yeezy Boost 700 Carbon Blue will release worldwide on December 18th at adidas.com/Yeezy and select stockists. The retail price is set at the standard $300 US. That's just a really hefty price, isn't it? I mean, not that I'm against that. They use very premium materials in the 700s. Full length boost from heel to toe. It's understandable. I can understand why it's at 300 USD, but yeah, it's just crazy to think, because I always complain like when I have to spend like 160 USD retail for a pair of like Jordan 1 OG highs at retail. I'm like, oh, 160 USD, that's like 230 or 40 Australian dollars. What? And 300 USD is like easily, it's got to be easily 400 Australian at a retail price as well. Like, that's crazy. Not to bash Yeezy for that high retail price as well. I understand that is the reason behind it, but it's a lot. It's asking a lot. But they always sell out. Like, there's no doubt that the 700s and 500s always sell out. But as I was talking about previously, I didn't think that the Yeezy colorway would sell out, and I had a look recently, and it is not. So, yeah, 350s are sitting at 2019, guys. Crazy. That's just covering other Yeezy news, like the Aliens, new images of 2020 350 V2s. I don't usually cover leaked images of upcoming 350 V2s until we've got like solid evidence that they're going to get released, because as discussed in this article, this was leaked, or, you know, mock-ups were made of it months ago. So if I just decided to cover the carbon blues like when it was mocked up or leaked, that would have been like in September. And the fact that we didn't get a release date until December really shows how pointless that video would have been, because it would have been like, oh yeah, these carbon blues are coming out soon. We'd have to wait months until they're finally out. So I'm glad that I kind of hold off in a way until we get official images. But let's dive into the official images and actually see what's going on. So here is the Yeezy 700 Carbon Blue colorway. So as it talked about, it's got that nice use of blue on the midsole here. What looks like a darker shade of blue, if not grey. Barely any uses of blue on the upper here, besides on the toe box here and on the tongue as well. But that little area of blue at the front there is the only use of blue on the upper besides the tongue, and obviously the inner lining as well, if you count that as well. I like the use of color on it. It stays true to very much, as it said in the article, Yeezy's color palette. It doesn't deviate from that too much, but I don't think it really ever should. I think it does a beautiful job at doing what Yeezy does best. It's just a super clean colorway. There's not too much else to say about it. Some people might like this as a slightly different alternative version of the OGs in a way, because the OGs use a lot of this color palette on that colorway. So if you want just a slightly alternative version of some of the previous release 700s, this is a really good way to handle it. Some people might have an alternative opinion on this release, saying that it's just like, man, it's kind of like the same thing that we've seen before. I don't know. I wouldn't give Yeezy critique in a bad light in that way. I wouldn't say that just because we've seen things like this being released before, that this is a bad thing that we're seeing it again. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I think, you know what? it's really exactly what we'd expect from a Yeezy release, and it's not a bad colorway, so I'm kind of happy with that. 300 USD, December 18th, Yeezy.com/Yeezy. I think it is on Yeezy Supply as well. They didn't mention that in the article, I don't think. Yeah, they didn't mention it, and select stockists. Yeah, Yeezy Supply is definitely doing a drop for them. I don't know. I think SVD is doing a raffle for them, so if you want to sign up for some raffles, I assume like End and SNS are going to be doing raffles for them as well. But all in all, this is a pretty clean colorway. I mean, if you're interested in resale value, if that's what your whole motive is for buying Yeezys, I could imagine it going for a little bit more than retail. Although, because it's at that 300 USD price point, I can't imagine that it will resell for much more than that. So, yeah, I wouldn't buy into this to resell it. I would buy into it purely just because it's a nice colorway. Would I pick this up if this came in my size? Not necessarily. If I were to buy a pair of 700s, I think I'd probably try and aim for the OG colorway. I know that the OG colorway gets restocked a lot, so the price might actually go down. But yeah, I don't know. If I had to pick up a pair of 700s, I don't think this would be it. But that's not a critique on it being a bad colorway. I just don't think this is for me. A bit too much blue for my liking, for my aesthetic. And yeah, as I mentioned, if I wanted a pair of 700s, it would be the OG colorway. But all in all, I do think this is a nice colorway. As I've expressed in the video already, it does exactly what a Yeezy release would do. It would do exactly what a 700 release would do. I do also have to say, I like that they're still touching on the V1 700s, even though the V2 700s are now a thing. I like that they're not shying away from still doing colorways of the V1s. And that's all I've really got to say about it, guys. It's a clean release. Really nice release. I honestly have nothing bad to say about it. It's good. It's good. I like this colorway. But I would like to know your thoughts and opinions though, guys. What do you think of the Yeezy 700 Carbon Blue colorway? Do you feel like it doesn't deviate itself enough from previous Yeezy releases to the point where it's kind of just, it feels kind of cheap? Or do you like it because it kind of stays true and stays in line with all the previous other Yeezy releases? How do you feel about it? Will you pick this up come December 18th? 300 USD, bit pricey, but are you going to pick it up? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions on the upcoming release of the Yeezy 700 Carbon Blue in the comment section below. And that's it. That is all the release details that we have on the upcoming release of this 700. To sum it all up, my thoughts and opinions on the colorway are very positive. It's nice. It's clean. It does exactly what a 700 release should do. It uses the color palette that a 700 normally has. There's no issues with this. It's just another clean colorway of the 700s. And I don't think it needed to be anything more than that. Let me know how you feel about it in the comment section below though, guys. If you love it, if you hate it, are you going to pick it up or is it a drop for you? There are a lot of other releases that are coming this December, so I can understand why some people might not pick it up because they prioritize other releases. I'll cover everything of importance on the channel, of course. It may just take me a while because, surprisingly, December actually has a bit of heat coming up. It's actually pretty impressive. I was like, wow, December. I wasn't expecting so much. So let me know how you feel about this 700 Carbon Blue in the comments section below. Don't forget, while you're heading on down there, as always, like the video, share the video. If you could share the video, that would mean a lot to me. Thank you so much if you are sharing the video. It really helps out the channel. And of course, if you're taking it that step further and subscribing to the channel, that step further. Make it seem like subscribing is harder to do than sharing. Honestly, if you're doing either or both, thank you so much. Thank you so much. There are a bunch of socials in the description section below. The Facebook page, the Instagram page. I've linked literally everything. So if you're interested in following those at all, seeing what I'm up to every day, that's how you do it. Just follow those. That has been the Adidas Yeezy 700 Carbon Blue. So until the, I'm going to say next sneaker release, next streetwear release, but the next video is going to be another Yeezy release. We got so many Yeezy releases this December. So until the next Yeezy video, I'll catch you later.